Have you ever wondered why February has 28 or 29 days, while other months have 30 or 31? And why do we add one day to February every 4 years and call it a leap year? This is because our calendar does not align with the astronomical seasons, which are determined by the Earth's movement around the Sun. To synchronize the calendar with the seasons, we periodically make adjustments called leap years. What are leap years, and why are they necessary? A leap year is a year in which February has 29 days instead of the usual 28. Leap years are introduced to correct the difference between the solar year and the calendar year. The solar year is the time it takes for the Earth to complete one full orbit around the Sun. The calendar year is the number of days we count in our calendar. The problem is that the solar year is not equal to a whole number of days. It is approximately 365.2422 days. This means that if we were to use a calendar with the constant number of days per year, we would lose 0.2422 days each year. This may seem insignificant, but over time, this error accumulates and leads to a shift in seasons. For example, if we did not introduce leap years, spring would start 24 days earlier after 100 years than it does now. To avoid this, we add one day to February every 4 years. Thus, we compensate for almost 4 lost days and bring the calendar year closer to the solar year. How did leap years appear in the calendar system, and how are they distributed over the years? And just a reminder, anyone who doesn't sign up is left without facts. The history of leap years begins with ancient civilizations that attempted to synchronize their calendars with the solar cycle. One of the earliest calendars to use leap years was the Egyptian calendar, which consisted of 12 months of 30 days, and an additional 5 days at the end of the year. However, every 4 years, the Egyptians added one more day to balance the calendar with the solar year. Why is February the shortest month of the year? February was named after the Etruscan god of the underworld, Phoebus. In ancient Rome, this month was the time of the fertility festival Lupercalia. This is explained by the history of the development of the calendar system, which began with ancient Romans. According to legend, the first Roman calendar, which consisted of 10 months and 304 days, did not include February and January, as winter was considered a lifeless time of the year. Later, the second Roman king, Numa Pompilius, added these 2 months, but made them shorter than the others, to maintain the sacred number of 355 days per year. February received 28 days, and January received 29. However, this calendar was imperfect because it did not correspond to the solar year and the seasons. Therefore, Roman priests periodically introduced an additional month, called Mercedonius or Intercalaris, which was inserted after the 23rd of February. This month had 27 or 28 days, making the year longer by 22 or 23 days. However, this month was not introduced according to a strict rule, but at the discretion of the priests, who could abuse their power and extend or shorten the year as they pleased. Another well-known calendar that used leap years was the Julian calendar, which was introduced in the Roman Empire in 46 BC by the decree of Julius Caesar. The Julian calendar consisted of 12 months, where January, March, May, July, August, October, and December had 31 days each, while February, April, June, September, and November had 30 days each. However, every 4 years, February had 29 days instead of 30. Thus, the average length of the year in the Julian calendar was 365.25 days. The Julian calendar was widely used in Europe and other parts of the world for many centuries, but it had one drawback. It was slightly longer than the solar year. This means that every 128 years it lagged behind the solar year by 1 day. This led to seasons shifting relative to calendar dates. For example, in the year 1582, the spring equinox fell on the 11th of March, instead of the 21st of March as it should have been. This hindered the accurate determination of the date of Easter and other church holidays. To correct this error, in the year 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced a new calendar, which he called the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar was similar to the Julian calendar, but had a more complex rule for leap years. According to this rule, a year is leap if it is divisible by 4, but not by 100, except for those divisible by 400. For example, the year 2000 was a leap year, while the year 1900 was not. Thus, the average length of a year in the Gregorian calendar is 365.2425 days, which is very close to the solar year. The Gregorian calendar was not immediately adopted by all countries. Some countries, such as Spain, Italy, and France, switched to it in the year 1582, while others, such as England, Germany, and Russia, did so only in the 17th and 18th centuries. Now, the Gregorian calendar is an international standard and is used almost worldwide. In conclusion, we can say that leap years and the 29th of February are the result of an attempt to reconcile our calendar with astronomical seasons. Without leap years, our calendar would quickly become out of sync with the solar year and seasons. Leap years appeared in various calendar systems, but now we use the Gregorian calendar, which has a more accurate rule for leap years. Leap years not only correct our calendar, but also give it a certain uniqueness and interest. Finally, consider some interesting facts about leap years and the date, the 29th of February. People born on the 29th of February are called leaplings or leap year babies. They celebrate their birthdays once every 4 years, and in ordinary years, they can choose either the 28th of February or the 1st of March. According to some estimates, there are about 5 million leaplings worldwide. In some countries and cultures, there are traditions and customs associated with the 29th of February. For example, in Ireland and the United Kingdom, it is believed that in a leap year, a woman can propose to a man, and if he refuses, he must pay a fine or give her something valuable. In Greece, it is believed that one should not get married in a leap year, as it brings bad luck. Various events occur in leap years, which may or may not be related to leap years. For example, in the year 1752, the Gregorian calendar was introduced in Britain and its colonies, necessitating the skipping of 11 days from the 2nd to the 14th of September. In 1940, the Italian composer Giovanni Allevi was born on Leap Day, who wrote the famous symphony Leap Year. In 2008, the 80th Academy Awards ceremony took place on Leap Day. And that's it, folks. Subscribe to my channel, put your thumbs up, and see you soon. See you soon.